like deers in the forest. A deer in the forest comes quietly and goes quietly. So I want to tell you today about a person who came into my life, just quietly went, and I never saw again. I was teaching the children in school when we had a visit from the inspector. He asked them 3 questions. One I have forgotten, but the other 2 was, what is an encyclopedia? And who was Malinoski? Well, number 1, they didn't know what an encyclopedia was, and 2, they didn't know who Malinoski was. And this was the Trobriand Islands. So when the inspector had gone, I told them what an encyclopedia was and that we'd get one as soon as we could. The next one was Malinoski. Malinoski was a famous anthropologist who stayed in the Trobriand Islands during the First World War. He couldn't go back to Germany because of the war. He didn't want to go to Australia to be interned in a camp. So he asked, could he continue his work in Papua New Guinea as an anthropologist? So he stayed there. He lived with the people. He knew the people. He went away and he wrote many books about the Trobriand Islands and their customs. So one day we went over to Father's house. In Father's house there were shelves and shelves of Malinoski's books. So we took them down and sat on the floor and looked at them. We couldn't read them because the English was so hard. But the children looked at the pictures, they saw the old times, they really enjoyed it. Then a few weeks later we were in school. One of the boys said to me, Sister, there's a white lady on the playground. So I went outside to the lady, asked her could I help her. And she said, Sister, I'm just having a look round here. I've come from my father's place and I want to look at this place. And I said, good, I'm Sister Helen. And she said to me, I am Helena, Malinoski's daughter. Oh, I nearly fainted. Malinoski's daughter coming to the Trobriand Islands. So quickly I took her into the classroom and introduced her to the children. They asked her so many questions and she told them, ever since I was a small girl, my father told me about the Trobriand Islands. And so I've come back today to see if all his stories are true. So we talked for a while and then off she went. She went out into the villages. She stayed in the villages, lived with the people, did what they did, ate what they ate, went where they went for a whole week. Then after a week she came back. And she said, I have found out that the stories my father told me are true. I saw the people harvesting the yams. I saw them putting them in the cones in the villages. I saw them taking them out and taking them up, putting them down into the yam house. I saw the baby coat that the woman wears after the baby is born, so that always her breasts are covered and the spirits can't steal her milk. I saw the grass skirts that the women wear. I saw the spears and the arrows that the men used in the old days when they went hunting in the bush. I saw all the things that my father told me. Now I am going away happy because I have heard, now I have seen. So that was very interesting. We really enjoyed her visit. She told us something about us and she told us something about herself. A week later, another man came. He said he was a lecturer in a Melbourne university and he lectured on the Trobriand Islands, but he'd never seen the Trobriand Islands. So in his holiday, he came to the Trobes to see if what he was teaching was true. He did the same. He went into the village, he stayed there, he came back. He said to us, I'm going back to tell my students everything I've been teaching them is a lie. Why? Why? Because he went into the village with a closed mind. Malinoski's daughter Helena went into the village with an open mind, open and ready to see what her father had taught her. This man went, his mind was closed. He couldn't see all the things that she saw. So be careful in your life. Make sure your eyes are open and you see all the things that there are to see, that you see the good in people, that you see the beauty all around you, that you see the kindness in friends. Goodbye for now, and God bless.